Let's go to something else that is interesting. Obi Toppin. This is one of those times where it's like, man, Randall has a really good game, right? So first of all, shout out to Randall. Big shout out to Randall. Randall had a good game as well. Again, once again, played within himself. Once again, hypes his teammates up. Once again, is a positive. Has 17.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block on the night. Once again, only 1 turnover for Randall. And he's coming to his own, playing offense. He's played defense. When it came to the starters, ironically, it might have been him and Mitch who played the best defense out of the starters. Ironically. And he's turned the quarter, and the coach is letting him play. And I'm happy that Randall has turned the corner. But then the other side of the ball, you're looking at Obi Toppin. 13 minutes. 2 huge threes, man. Hornets daring him to shoot. Takes his time. Hits 2 threes at the elbow. Gives you 9 minutes and 2 assists. And this is one of those games where I'm like, man, this is one of the games, if Obi played 25, 30 minutes, he was getting 20.
I mean, yeah, it's tough though because today was definitely a game where Obi definitely looked like his shot was working for him tonight because usually when Obi takes his first three, if he didn't like drive to the basket and get a dunk or anything like that or anything that get him into the flow of the game, that first three is going to more than likely be a brick.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, he was hitting the threes. I think he had like 2 straight threes, like one right after the other.
Mm-hmm.
And if Obi's hitting threes like that, like it's going to be a game for him if he's hitting threes like that. But the thing is that here's the conundrum, because you have 2 guys at power forward who are capable. But, Julius Randle is the better player at the moment. And even if Obi is going off, if Julius Randle's having a good game, you can't necessarily bench Julius Randle and let Obi go off like that. At the moment, Julius Randle's the better player. At the moment, Julius Randle has the seniority or whatever you want to call it. So he's going to get that playing time instead of Obi. So it's just one of those games where it's like, Obi's going off. Would you like to see him play more minutes? Yeah, but him not getting those minutes, is it justifiable? In this case, yes, because Julius Randle was playing well, and it is what it is, man. Like you're gonna have days like this where Obi's gonna have a good game, but since Julius Randle's also having a good game, Obi's not gonna get the minutes that he should.
Yeah, and congratulations to Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes. They all got their options picked up by the New York Knicks. The hard work is paying off. So shout out to those guys. But it makes me worried about the future for Obi and those guys. I remember Raw talking about how his representation could possibly ask for a trade. And this games like this makes me think like, damn, I can see that happening. Like it's gonna be rough to hang on to all our young guys in the future with the roles they have right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But I'm glad we picked up their option. Great game by Obi. On the flip side though, there's very limited drop off from the starters to the second unit, and this is like another one of those games where it's like a wave of coming at you. The first unit comes in and punches you in the mouth. The second unit comes in and drops 29 points in the first half, and this is like the most complete team we've had in so long. And it's crazy because the East is so deep right now that like I wonder how this team would perform in like another era. You know what I mean? Like this is one of those teams like, man, if we had this same team 3 years ago, we might be like third of the East or something crazy. I don't know. You know what I mean, Brian? Like this team seems like it's stacked and working like a well-oiled machine. It's interesting.
Yeah, man. The big thing about having a 10-man rotation that's as good as the Knicks have is very beneficial because the Knicks don't necessarily have that superstar as of yet. Even though the way Jalen Brunson is playing, he's playing on a star level at the moment, but the Knicks don't necessarily have that superstar yet. So, what's the other alternative option to have a good team? A deep team, a team where you're starting five and then your second five, there's not a big drop off between both units. Both units play good, and whatever the first unit does, the second unit is able to hold on to that. So that's going to be major for the Knicks because, like I said, at the moment the Knicks do not have that superstar player. So the fact that they have a deep team 1 to 10, that's going to bode well for the Knicks as the season goes on.
Funny you say that, Ryan, because I know they say we don't have a superstar player, but I've talked about how guys who come from other programs that don't have a role and they get transferred to another team and all of a sudden they blossom. And I always use James Harden as an example of that. James Harden came over from OKC. He was a bench player, came over to Houston Rockets, and all of a sudden he's an all-star and people are considering a top 10 player, top 15 player. It's very early to make that type of declaration for Jalen Brunson, but it's like, man, if he is, I'm not saying he'll be a top 10 player, but that all-star level fringe, I don't know, man. The efficiency is so much off the charts that, and he plays so much in the moment. He hits big shots. He makes the correct plays. He has his spots on the floor where he's damn near unstoppable. It makes you think, how far can he go in his career? And it was only against Dennis Smith Jr. today. So there's going to be other tougher matchups. Like, it might get rougher when it comes to teams who are longer, like the Bucks. So when I see teams like that, and we play teams like that, I really want to see what he does. But I don't know, man. Watching Jalen Brunson makes me a little bit delusional Knicks fan a little bit for a second. I want to see what he's gonna do to see if he can rise up to that type of all-star level.
Yeah, I agree. The only reason I'm not calling him a star yet is because it's just 4 games into the season, and the Knicks haven't exactly had the toughest schedule so far.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump the gun and be like, yeah, Jalen Brunson's a star and this and that. But I mean, at the moment, he is playing at an all-star level. And if he continues to play like this, sooner or later, you may have to label that man a star. So, it might be one of those situations where, you sign a player and, when a player is at another team, like when he was with Dallas, he was playing with Luka Doncic, who's the clear superstar of that team. So he never had that big enough role to where he can really, showcase what he can do when he's the leader of that team, since there's already a leader there. But yeah, man, at the moment, if Brunson keeps this up, yeah, you're gonna have to label that man a star, and then you can say that the Knicks got a star player on the cheap. They didn't even know they were signing a star when this guy came. He became one. So yeah, hopefully he keeps up.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till we play these tougher teams, man. I cannot wait. First and foremost, I feel like we're gonna smack the Hawks.